She suppressed a shiver as her stomach fluttered with fear. Icy with panic, she looked over and squeezed her fiancé's hands. The therapist casually unsealed a plastic bag which had 2 small, round, purple tablets. "What are those?" asked Nova.
"This is the answer to all of your problems."
He looked up at Nova before handing her the plastic bag. "Wait a second," Indigo said, taking the pill out of Nova's hand. "We don't know what's in these. We have no idea what kind of effect it will have on us. Is this something you do with all of your clients?"
"You are the one who found me. Now, do you want my help or not? This is my way of doing things, and I've healed hundreds of patients with my methods."
"We've already paid the man, Indigo. Let's just see what this is all about. I mean, everything online says he's without a doubt the best. So maybe he knows what he's doing." "I swear to God, if anything happens to us, you're gonna have one big lawsuit waiting for you, mister," said Indigo.
Now, these pills will allow you to go to the very moment in your life when you experience pain. The very first time you experienced heartbreak. Many of us go through life carrying emotional baggage because we never forgave people that hurt us in our past. Maybe you have some unresolved feelings you need to express. These pills can help you with that. Once you swallow the pills, it will immediately place you under a trance-like state, allowing you to cross over into another dimension. Now, this part is very important. Don't panic. Whenever the feeling of pain becomes too overwhelming, you can command it to stop and instantly wake yourself up.
"How exactly do we command it to stop?" asked Indigo.
First thing is you need to be aware of the fact that you are in a trance-like state. If you are unsure whether you are dreaming or not, looking around for a clock. Once the pill takes effect, each time you look at a clock, it will tell you a different time, and the hands on the clock won't appear to be moving. As soon as you become aware, breathe in and out slowly while saying, "I am dreaming, I am dreaming." Repeating this over and over will bring you back.
The therapist poured an ounce of clear white liquid into a shot glass and handed it to the 2 ladies.
"Here, it'll be much better if you chase it down with this."
She looked over at Nova and felt as if she were saying goodbye to her for the last time, for they were about to enter a totally new dimension. "Nova, please promise me that if you were feeling any skepticism about this procedure, you would tell me." "Promise," Nova said. She squeezed her hand one last time as they placed the purple pill on the back of their tongues and chased it down with the clear liquid. Just seconds after swallowing the pill, there was a powerful surge of energy through their bodies. It started with the fingertips, then made its way to the muscles, and finally their entire bodies were soaring through the sky on some mystical journey. They felt as if they could lift 10 elephants at one time while sprinting in a race. They were invincible. It was an awakening. It was awakening nerve endings they didn't even know existed. Their chests started beating faster and faster. It felt like their heart was racing 800 miles an hour. No thoughts were going through their heads. It just felt like they could feel their brain running a 5K marathon. "What have I gotten myself into?" said Indigo, as she looked over and heard Nova moaning. She looked to her right and saw Nova's legs drawn up to her chest with their hands on her thighs, her head cocked back, moaning. "Is it normal for her to do that?" asked Indigo. "Nova! Nova!"
"Yes, she's completely fine. Help me pull her up."
"My legs, they feel like jello," said Indigo. "I can hardly walk."
"Your body is preparing you for the next dimension."
"I'm afraid," said Indigo. "I don't want to do it anymore."
"Try not to fight it."
She looked up at the clock and noticed it was no longer moving. She wasn't sure if she was prepared for what she was about to see, But ever since her father left the family when she was just a teenager, she would never view men the same way again. She didn't think she would ever understand the meaning of love until she met Nova. Being a lesbian couple presented a lot of challenges for Nova and Indigo, but in the end, you can't help who you love. She went online, and that's when she saw him. The therapist. Born and raised in Singapore, he was gaining a huge reputation for working with women to help them heal from their childhood traumas. Many women were leaving his sessions ready to love again and freeing themselves from all of the walls of self-hatred they had built around them. The absence of a father left a huge hole in Indigo's heart. Her mom struggled, working 2 jobs to take care of her, and was never around to give Indigo the time and attention she yearned for. She thought the therapist could save her from all of the self-loathing and pain she felt from being neglected. She turned around and noticed the quaint yellow and burgundy brick house sitting on the side of the road, curtains hanging down from the window staring back at her. The young woman's soul churned with fear.
How could you do this to your family?
Look, I never wanted you to find out this way.
Imagine how much this is gonna hurt Indigo.
Look, it's not like we have to tell her right now.
Of course we have to tell her. This whole time, we all have been living a lie. I just can't believe you had a chat with her.
I legitimately want you to meet her.
You have some nerve saying that to me. I don't ever want to meet that little girl. Her and your skink whore will always be dead to me.
I can only support you if you allow Indigo's sister to be in her life.
You can keep your money. Indigo and I will be perfectly fine without you.
She wanted to reach out to her. She wanted to tell her everything would be okay. She also wanted to tell her to stop being so stubborn and accept the money. Had she accepted the help, she would have had more time to spend with her child. Most importantly, how could she keep a whole other life hidden from her? All this time, Indigo thought her mom and dad split because she wasn't good enough. She thought they didn't love her, but that wasn't the case at all. Just then, she heard a whimpering coming from the den. She walked down the stairs and was astonished to see who was sitting there. Oh my God! What are you doing here? This is too much. I want to go back now. Breathe in and out. Slowly. I am dreaming. Gasping for air, dreaming. Indigo was greeted by the therapist, walking towards her with a glass of water. Shining a light into her eye, he held her eyelids in between her fingertips. What's that for? She asked. Is Nova gonna be okay?
I need to see how dilated her pupils are to know how much of the pill is still in her system.
Oh my God, what did you do to her? I knew this experiment wasn't a good idea.
You see her eyes rapidly moving back and forth? It's a sign she's trying to wake up.
Give me that, said Indigo, grabbing the glass of water from the therapist's hand. She threw the glass of water into Nova's face. Nova, please. I can't lose you. Woke up and reached for Indigo's hand. Indigo. We will talk about it later on in the car. The ride home from the therapist's office was the most awkward silence they had ever felt in their entire lives. When Indigo told Nova about the famous therapist who was freeing women from their childhood traumas with a pill, they promised they would never discuss their demons from the past with one another. They were too afraid of being judged and allowing it to have an effect on their relationship. Look, I know we said no matter how much we wanted to know about the other's past, we would repress the urge to ask, but I really need to know the answer to one question. Nova, what were you doing in the den of my mother's house?
I was gonna ask you the same thing.
Well, I wanted to know the real reason my mom and dad divorced. I went through life feeling like my father hated me. I even lost my trust in men after he left.
So is that the real reason you became a lesbian?
That's not the point that I'm making. Nova, I need to know what you were trying to figure out from your past.
Know who my real father was. Growing up without a father really affected my relationship with men too.
Nova, do you know what this means?
Yeah, I do. And you know what? I don't care. I love you, and I can't imagine living a life without you.
are the only thing that matters.
This isn't normal.
Look, no one ever told us that we grew up with the same father. For now, it will be our little secret. I love you.
I wanted to take the pill again. I wanted to go deeper and see what I could find. But whenever I went online to look for his name, he was nowhere to be found. It was like he never even existed. The therapist.